to San Sabatino. I'm here in Escondido at the home of Gerren Hall. Gerren, say hi to the folks at home.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to my home. My private home, that is.
It's a nice little section of Escondido too. I like it out here. It's real quiet and peaceful.
That's why I chose it.
There you go. So let me ask you, when did you first start getting into acting?
You know, I got into acting in the spring of 1997. It happened completely by accident. When I was 3 years old, I was always told I had a natural knack for talking.
At 3 years old?
At 3 years old.
3 years old, you had a natural act for talking.
Yeah.
That's.
I had a. I'll never forget this. I went to daycare in a small little city called Daly City, California, up in the Bay Area. And my mom, we took the same BART every morning to my daycare center. It was right across the street from the school where she taught.
Mm-hmm.
And my daycare teacher, in one day alone, told me to be quiet 10 times.
10 times.
10 times in one day.
Damn.
And in that same week, she gave me about 6 timeouts for talking too much. So she calls my parents and says, we need to have a meeting about your son's energy. He's a commodity. He could be something, but I don't know what to do with that.
So she was doing it more of, not a disciplinary phone call, more of your son's probably got something here. We need to see what we can do with it.
Exactly. And at 3 years old, she called it a constructive outlet. And of course, at 3, I didn't know what the hell that meant. I thought,
you're just 3 years old. You don't.
to me, I think this is a bigger time. This is a bigger time out to me.
Yeah.
But we're sitting in there, and I see my parents, see them laughing, and I see them just having a jovial conversation. I'm like, so what's?
So I'm not in trouble. So what's going on?
So they were saying, like, son, my dad looked at me, he like smiled at me and said, son, you're not in trouble. Yes, your teacher says you need something extra to do with all this energy you got. Like, you're talking more than the pastor does. And I said, okay. I said, well, Daddy, important people talk. I want to be important.
At 3 years old?
At 3 years old, I always said how I wanted to be somebody important. I always knew important people spoke a lot.
Yeah.
Because my dad, he was in the military, so I would consistently see him watching the president talk. I'm sorry if I spit on you a little bit. I'd watch the president talk. I'd watch football coaches, like he coached football. I'd see him talk all the time.
Yeah.
My mom was a college administrator. See her talk all the time. So I said, you guys are important people. You guys get to talk a lot. Why can't I do that?
Yeah, exactly.
So that translated into me doing church theater up in San Francisco. So my first role I ever had was in a Christmas pageant where I play a bratty little kid. And the only line I had in the whole show was, Mommy, he hit me!
That was the only talking you did in the movie?
The only line I
got.
That was it. The only line I got in the whole show.
How'd that make you feel?
You know, looking back at it, I said, you know what? I'm glad I got that because, I mean, not everybody can be the Macaulay Culkin or be the Shirley Temple or be the Jackson 5. I mean, you gotta experiment a little bit till you find where you
gotta find your niche,
best stand out.
Exactly.
And I look at pictures of myself when I was a kid, and I said, you know what? I was photogenic. It made sense that I got into modeling because that was where I ended up after that one Christmas pageant. Because we had one woman that was in our congregation that was the head talent coordinator and booker for Robinson's Made Children's Modeling. Came into my parents after the show and just said, hey, can your son, can he take directions? Can he walk in a straight line? I said, well, I mean, he does the Christmas pageant, but I mean, that's about all he's ever done. I mean, it's not no formal training or anything like that. So
you basically accidentally became an actor and then accidentally became a model. All because of the same show.
Exactly. Basically. And I'm a Catholic. I'll say maybe it was God's work. No, not maybe. That was God's work. I mean, there's no doubt about that. So, do that first fashion show that winter. And in that same show is where I met Holly Kennedy, who would become my first acting coach and my first agent less than a year later.
No, wow. So you're 3, 4 years old and already have an agent.
Yeah, at 4 years old, I had my first agent, had opportunities to take these really one-of-a-kind acting classes for voiceover, for commercial training, for scene study training, not knowing any of this stuff. All I'm told is that they hand you a piece of paper, they read it to you verbatim, because, at 4 years old, you can't really read some of this stuff. Yeah, but they're saying, hey, what would you say if I told you you're going to Disneyland tomorrow? And they get you all excited. They say, oh, we're going to give you some Snickers candy. What would you say? Or we're going to let you watch the Power Rangers on TV all day for free. Like, what would you say? Giving you all these little scenarios, wanting to see what kind of emotions can you give out, or what kind of creative choices are you going to make based on these things that we're giving you.
Absolutely.
So, you fast forward about another year and a half later, I'm sitting in the casting office with Samuel Warrens, the CSA casting director, right here in San Diego. Still close friends with him until this day. One of my, Sam, if you're watching, thank you for all the training for the last 22 years. Brings me up for my very first commercial audition for Siemens Corp, which is the biggest medical pharmaceutical distributor in the world.
Yeah.
Out of 180 kids, they picked me. So my family took me up to Burbank that summer. I filmed for 4 days and paid $2,000 a day to film for Seamus Corp.
So 4 years old, made $8,000 in 4 days.
Yeah, I literally was.
Pretty good. They didn't know what to do with the money.
I didn't get to touch it until I was 18. So, but I think the thing I was more excited about wasn't the money. It wasn't even the fact that I got to work on a wasn't even the fact that I got to work on a movie set.
Mm-hmm.
It was the fact that I got paid to eat food and watch TV.
Yeah.
Because at 4 years old, they give you a trailer, they give you all of these things, and I'm being like, this is all for me? A personal PA who does whatever I ask, and I was very low maintenance. He said, Gerren, this is Chris. He's your personal PA. He's going to be with you the whole week. Just ask him, for anything you want to ask him.
Yeah,
Sure.
So as you grew up and got older, you stayed with the acting thing for a little while until you became a teenager, and then when you became a teenager, something changed.
Yeah, something definitely changed. And it wasn't just my complexion. It was the idea that I've got 30-year-old men out there that can still pass for being 13 to 16 years old. So
you're saying I have a chance of playing a teenager in a movie? Is that what you're saying?
you know what? You totally could. I mean, wear a long sleeve and take one of your piercings out.
Trim the beard a little bit.
Yeah, trim the beard up a little bit. You can easily pass for being 16. I guarantee.
16.
16 to 18. No.
Saved by the Bell. Here we come. No, but
no. That was a great show. I mean, I met Mark Leeson, and I said, man's a fucking hothead. But I said, no, it was a great show. So that put me in that category of, do I stay on the road that I'm on? Because I was having a hard time booking by that point.
Mm-hmm.
And also, even at 13, I gained a little bit of weight.
And a lot of those people probably had a lot more experience as you. So even though you've been doing it since you were younger, they also could be doing it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got people that got world life experiences. They got cars. They have things that I don't have access to.
So you're kind of running into a brick wall here, and you've got to make a decision. And you're still 14 years old, 15 years old.
Exactly.
And you're actually making an adult conversation about what you want to do with your own career and your future.
Yeah, so what I did was, and again, this is also done for me, I was doing a student film when I was in the 7th grade. Our assistant director, he didn't show up. So they said, who here is really good at organizing? Who here is good at consolidating and getting people moving?
And you're like, me, this guy is right here.
Nope, I didn't volunteer. Somebody volunteered me. They just noticed that.
Wow.
They just noticed.
So they just straight threw you right under the bus.
They threw me right under the bus because my scenes for the movie were dumb. But they said, Gerren, you have the best handwriting, and also you're always early. You can do it. I said, but I don't know anything about assistant directing.
Yeah, what the hell am I going to do?
See, no, all you do is say quiet on set and roll camera. That's all you got to do. Like, oh, okay, I can do that. And little did I know that you fast forward 12 years later, I'm getting paid $800 a day to do that behind the scenes.
Wow.
And that is how I've supplemented my acting time versus my behind the scenes time. And will I take that time for granted? Hell no. Mm-hmm. I mean, it made sense that I took that up because I knew someday I was going to do something more than just be on camera talent.
So basically what happened was you ran into a wall and you figured out how to get over that wall without taking any steps back.
Absolutely.
So you have a product that just came out about 2 weeks ago on Amazon called Carbon, correct?
Yes. Carbon, the feature film, just came out 2 weeks ago on Amazon Video on demand. If you haven't gotten it yet, DM me on Instagram. You can find us on Instagram at CarbonFim. That's CARBON, like the material, CarbonFim. And that's by Uriola Film, directed by Raul Uriola, produced by yours truly. It was filmed right here in San Diego. We had over 25 local talent in it. About 10 different locations, all based here in San Diego. The plot line, I'm not going to give it all away, so I want y'all to watch it. But I'll tell you this, though. If you've ever had a demonic thing to say about thievery, this is the movie to watch. Everything that Scorsese and De Palma would talk about is all rolled into here.
Oh, wow.
But a very successful turnout. We had 2 screenings. We had a 300-seater and a 150-seater, both sold out.
Nice. We
aired it on KUSI, aired it on Telemundo, and we also had another airing on the Real Legit Magazine and Real Legit Media's channel, which that's run by Ron Morales, one of my many
so it obviously got a lot of good feedback.
Yes, yeah. The feedback was fantastic. But I think for us, the biggest success we came out of it was when we applied for our Amazon deal, which is our distribution deal. Usually for an indie guy, it takes anywhere from 6 to as many as 18 weeks for them to even get back to say, we received your submission, we'll let you know what happens.
It goes to the bottom of the pile. When they get to it, they look at it.
If they ever get to it.
But this happened a lot quicker.
We put that in right around Thanksgiving. They notified us right before Christmas.
Wow.
And I I gotta say that for our first feature that we've ever sold,
That's pretty impressive.
No, that was born and impressive. That was
Yeah.
that was a fucking Christmas miracle.
Really? Oh,
that
wow.
they bought that out that weekend, and that was fantastic. I mean, now I was out of the country when we got the notification, but I say to say that we were able to do that on our first feature, that right there says something about the kind
speaks
of work.
volumes for what you're trying to do, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And for indie guys to be able to sell their work and be able to get paid, you know, in royalties for their
absolutely.
work. I mean, that's huge, because that's the one thing you want to do is you would like to be able to make some of your money back. Not that I'm getting greedy or anything, but I would like to make some of my money back, Raul. But to my Carbon team, my cast, you guys stole the show. Cannot wait to see y'all in our next project, which is coming up in a couple of months. My production team, especially my second AD, thank you for keeping me stress free.
And so you have a soap opera that you're doing. Are you acting in it or producing it or both?
Yeah. Now my soap opera, I am doing both. I'm working both sides.
So you're in front and behind the camera.
Yes. Yeah, I'll be writing and executive producing, and also I'll be.
So you're writing, acting, and producing.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I've had this in my archives for the last 7 years.
And what kind of soap opera is it about? If you can put some stuff out there.
It's a serialized drama. If you've ever seen the TV shows like One Life to Live and General Hospital, I drew inspiration from those because growing up, those were the only things I was able to watch on TV.
Okay.
But I attribute a lot of it to my grandmother, who unfortunately passed away last month. So
Sorry to hear that. My condolences.
I appreciate that. Now I'm doing it with a purpose, because watching soap was something that she and I did together.
Yeah.
And as a child, I didn't know what the hell these things were about, but what I did know is that these are relatable stories.
Mm-hmm.
They're about love, happiness, sadness, divorce, disease, death, all these things.
A little bit of everything. The things that we all take care of, the things that we all see in our everyday life as it is.
Exactly. And that can happen to you all in the period of 1 week.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what?
It could happen in one day sometimes.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. It could happen to you all in one day. And I told myself, if I don't make it in movies, that is who I'm going to be. I'm going to be a soap star. I mean, people say, you can win an Oscar.
Bad route to go.
I mean, it's not a bad route to go. I mean, some of the biggest A-listers you see in Hollywood, like Paul Walker, James Franco, hell, even The Rock, they've all been on soap operas, whether it be in guest starring roles, they played recurring characters. Some of them were contracted characters for multiple years on the show.
Yeah,
Paul Walker,
soap operas have been known to go for, 20, 30, 40 years.
Well, some of them 70. People like Paul Walker, he spent 8 years on Days of Our Lives on the NBC before he was an action star.
I did not know that, yeah.
A lot of people didn't know that, and even I didn't know it until he passed away. But I will say this, though. The one thing that I am looking forward to most about this soap opera, and you can read about it in my book and in my poetry books, is in life, I've always believed that you can get a lot of opportunities to do something good. But the one thing I will say is that you only get one opportunity in your life to do something great.
Do something great, yeah.
And this right here is my opportunity.
There you go.
And it's not just for me. I'm doing it for my grandmother. I'm doing it for minority artists. And I'm also doing it for the fact of there is not enough serialized drama out there that people can relate to. Like, sure, you've got your Grey's Anatomy, you got your NCIS, you've got your Bones, you've got your Veronica Mars, and all the shows that have.
But even a lot of those are also still, they're out more in left field than in reality as well, too. So.
Yeah, they exist in a world strictly 100% of make-believe.
Yeah.
Well, like, for instance, all you Game of Thrones fans, that they were pissed with the finale, I'm going to make it my job to make sure y'all don't hate our finale if and when it comes. So, a story that everyone can relate to, you can say, hey, I know what it's like to have a baby. I know what it's like to maybe say lose my baby.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to get married. I know what it's like to get divorced. All these things, we're going to do it, but we're going to do it better.
There you go.
And if there's one thing I can say, we all going to get to the promised land.
We're going to get there one day, right? Little by little. All right, so you also...
And that's the title of it, hence the little tag I put right there.
Oh, what's the title? Say it again?
It's called Promiseland.
Oh, Promiseland? Okay.
Because the way I see
like
it, since I'm a Catholic, and they always say the more you pray, the closer you are getting to the promised land, so the harder you work, the less good opportunities you take, and the one time you seize your great opportunity, you will be in the promised land.
You won't get there. Well, yep.
And that's why I titled it that.
And so let me ask you, you also have an autobiography coming out, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, I do. My first autobiography is called ADAD, which stands for All Day, Any Day, A Walk in the Life of GEH, which, that's my initials, Gerren Everett Hall. I was supposed to have it finished, completed, and published by my 25th birthday, which is on April the 13th of this year. Unfortunately, I missed my deadline, so sorry y'all for that. I missed my deadline, but I guarantee you will have it before I'm 26. I started doing my autobiography when I was about 19. Is when I started putting it together because I was never really a superficial type, but I always had this weird.
Why 19? What made you decide at 19 you wanted to write an autobiography?
Well, it's kind of funny.
No, mind you, you did start acting at 3, so I mean, you still had a good time frame. Basically, your whole life you were acting and things.
I've
like
always
that.
had a lot of ambitions for myself because I've always said anybody can go to college and get a degree and become a doctor.
Yeah.
But I said that only one person can become that world-renowned surgeon like Ben Carson or like Dr. Oz or Dr. Phil. And I'm like, you and I easily know probably about 50 people that are doctors.
Yeah.
Now
or went to med school and didn't become a doctor.
Exactly. And now for me, I said I didn't go to school to become, for writing. I minored in English literature as part of my minor, and I said I didn't do enough with my minor, and I said I was always great at writing, and I like to tell stories, but I said I don't want to tell fiction. I want to tell about myself because people will ask me questions about who are you going to be in 20 years and such, and I never really like those questions because how am I going to know?
I don't know what I'm doing them all.
There you go. Or even in the world we live in now, are you going to know what's going to happen to you in the next 30 minutes? Probably not. You can just cross your fingers and pray that it's going to be, the best possible outcome. And now for me, I said, in 25 chapters, in 25 years, who have I been? What have I done? Where have I gone? People want to know. And I said, you know what? Instead of asking, just read about it.
Just write it, show it to me.
Like it says in my title, walk in that with me. Hence why it's called.
Walk in that with me?
Because it's called ADAD, and because anybody that knows me knows I'm a 24/7 kind of guy. You can call me at 2 in the morning, I'll probably answer the phone. And any day, there's never a day that's not available on my calendar where I'm booked solid for the day. And guys, I'm always here, all day, any day. And I call it the walk in the life because there's not one place I won't walk to, not one hurdle I won't try to jump over.
And that's because you used to walk on those hills in San Francisco.
Hey, I'll admit though, my grandmother, she tore my quads up.
All right, so let me ask you a question real fast before we wrap it up. Was there ever a time when, other than when you were a teenager, that you decided that, maybe this isn't what I want to do? Maybe it's getting too... He didn't like the question.
Still rolling? It's asking you. Still rolling.
All right, so Gerren, before we, Gerren, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so Gerren, before we wrap it up, I want to ask you a question real fast. Was there ever a time where you decided that maybe this isn't what I want to do, and maybe, even though I've been doing it my whole life, maybe there's something else that I want to pursue, or maybe it just got too hard, or something didn't work out the way you wanted to? There was that big brick wall that you couldn't get over, but then all of a sudden you got over it, and how'd you get through it?
Well,
And what keeps you pushing to keep doing this every day?
Yeah, that's a great question. In any profession, I'll say this. There are any number of days out of the week, it's going to go great, and there's going to be days that absolutely sucks.
Absolutely.
And as an actor, anybody that does this in the profession, as well as I do, we show up for an audition, we may wait 6 months to hear we even got a call back or even got the job. So it's really easy to rage quit at this job. The wages can suck. The amount of opportunities, especially for minorities, definitely can suck. And sometimes you're powerless to do anything about it. But now in my case, it's been attributed to a few different things. I've been swayed in different areas about trying other things as a profession.
Yeah.
I had a chance to go to Yale, to go to law school. I turned it down.
Wow.
I thought about me running for Congress, becoming a state senator for the state of California. I turned it down. Had a chance to run for mayor in the little city of Lemon Grove where I grew up here in Southern California. Turned down that opportunity. Even had a chance to maybe become a teacher overseas to orphan kids.
Oh, wow.
That I may still take that up. But right now I'm thinking, you know what? No. I'm doing what I want to do. Whether I'm making $1 or $1 million, I'm in it for the long haul. But recently, for me, the biggest time I ever considered giving up, it was only because I didn't get my way. And I said, yes, as selfish as that is to say, I said, maybe it's not about my way anymore. Maybe it's about my audience's way. It's about the way that the people have perceived me as a person, how the people have perceived me as a character. Maybe it's time, I listen to them a little bit more because now I'm starting to realize more and more. I mean, even before we came out here today, Derek was telling me that you have an audience, you have a following, you have a brand. And I think, yeah, but do people recognize it? Does it resonate with anybody? I said, I guess I gotta ask them to find out.
There you go.
And I can't do that if I quit.
No, you cannot.
I mean, you're never truly gonna be able to make an impact until you face your audience. You face the people, because ultimately at the end of the day, that's who makes you a star. Did The Rock? I mean, The Rock. When you probably may not remember this, back when he was wrestling professionally, people forgot and they told him, "Die, Rocky, die! Die, Rocky, die!" But didn't matter. He kept showing up and he became one of the most popular wrestlers.
Became the people's champ.
Absolutely, exactly. And now he's the people's celebrity.
Action.
All right, so one final question before we wrap things up here, Gerren. What's your biggest fear in life?
My biggest fear in life, you know, over the years that's changed. I'll say this. Bottom line, read my book. I'm going to give this one little part away. Everybody that knows me knows I'm afraid of two things. Lightning and thunder and germs. That's never going away. But for me, lately, probably my biggest fear I've ever had in my life, I've always been afraid of myself. And what I mean by that is, I was always afraid of my own success. Afraid of my own opportunities, because you get that feeling of, it's too good to be true. Did I really plateau my opportunity? Did I really get to the pinnacle of my potential? And I'm very, really critical of myself. But then again, so was any artist.
I'm the same way with myself. I'm my own biggest critic.
And for me, I was always afraid to let myself be successful, because I feel if I get all the way there, how do I stay here? And how do I stay here without letting it come crashing down and I end up dead, drunk, and with nothing? How do I keep from becoming NC Hammer?
That's something that's definitely happened over the years.
I mean, you look at tons of people out there that have prominent names, back in the 70s and 80s, and now they're wandering around hoping they might get a job. Matter of fact, you probably might remember this. I don't remember the guy's name, but he was really popular on the Fresh Prince show, but then he got a job at Trader Joe's. And somebody snapped a photo of him, posted it online, made fun of him because he was working at Trader Joe's.
Oh no, that was the Cosby Show.
Cosby.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Well, so what? He's just doing what he's got to do.
Guys got to make money, man.
Yeah, he made money. He's got to make money. And then what happened? A week later, he gets a call from Tyler Perry. He puts him in a new movie and a supporting part.
Now he's back on the acting scene.
Exactly. Look at Will Smith. Took some time off, and then he gets called in to do Aladdin.
He's also Will Smith.
Well. So for me, my biggest fear for the longest time had always been myself and my own success. But if you ask me now what is my greatest fear, I say it's just doubt. Doubt has been my greatest fear, and
that you doubt yourself, or other people will doubt you.
Doubting myself, because you can listen to anybody's opinion, and at the end of the day, it's just an opinion.
Absolutely.
Because you ultimately define yourself. But I say for me, my doubt is my biggest fear. So I say, if you've got a fear out there, look in the mirror, because chances are I think you're afraid of is yourself.
All right, so Gerren, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to invite us into your home here in Escondido, California.
Glad to have you.
Oh, thanks, man. And you're definitely a talented young man. You've definitely in 25 years have done a lot more than shit I've done in 37.
You ain't done too bad.
Hey, well, I'm getting there, man. One step at a time, and that's how I look at it, man. Patience is a virtue, and every journey starts with one step, man. That's how I live my life.
Oh,
man.
absolutely.
And so everybody for watching at home. Tony 2 Cents Sabatino. This is Gerald Hall.
I only have two things left to say. That's Gerren Hall. Get it right. Crew Park instead of left. Let's lock it up, y'all. We're on a struggle here. Lock it up. Quiet on set. Let's roll. What's Celeb Watch?
Well, you can watch the rise of your favorite celebrity stars. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. That was fun, bro. Yeah, you good dude, baby. And again, man, sorry about your grandma. Smoke, man. I know what that's like, man.
And may she rest in peace.
Yes. She's in
the Promiseland, which you can catch in November.
Thanks, man.